The energy I am reading today is not just intuitive. It is not just creative. It is not just spiritually sensitive. What I am looking at is a combination that I rarely see, and I need you to hear me clearly on this. This is someone who can walk into chaos and recognize the hidden pattern inside it. You can sense what people are concealing, but you also have the intelligence to understand why they are concealing it. You carry the mind of an investigator, the sensitivity of an artist, the instincts of a survivor, and the endurance of someone who was born to teach. That combination is rare, and before you learned how to use it, this energy probably made your life much harder than it needed to be. So if you are watching this and you have always felt like something about you does not fit, like you see too much, feel too deeply, think in ways that other people do not understand, stay with me. Because what is about to come through these cards is not a generic message. This is specific. Let me show you. Look at what just came through. The planet of the mind. The sign where the mind is at its absolute strongest. And the house of your inner foundation, your roots, your private world, the place where everything begins. This tells me your mind is not ordinary. You do not think the way most people think. Most people look at a situation and see what is on the surface. You see the wiring underneath. You see how things connect, how one event leads to another, how someone's words do not match what their body is actually saying. You may receive information in ways that other people would not understand. Sudden realizations, dreams that turn out to mean something, a physical feeling in your body when you are around certain people. Noticing contradictions that nobody else seems to catch. Knowing something before you have evidence for it. And this is what makes you different from someone who is only intuitive. You do not just feel things. You can analyze what you feel. You can break it apart, study it, explain it. That is the investigator in you. This combination shows up in powerful writers, researchers, counselors, psychologists, content creators, teachers, people who can take complicated information and make other people understand it for the first time. But here is the other side. This same energy can make your mind work against you. You may edit your work 20 times before you share it. You replay conversations in your head hours after they happened. You feel like something is not ready, even when it is already better than what most people could produce. Your home, your private space, it has to feel mentally peaceful. If there is disorder, conflict, noise, unpredictable energy around you, it disturbs your concentration more than other people realize. This is the foundation. Now let me show you why life tested you so hard. This tells me something very important about your emotional history. The moon, your emotions, your inner world, what you need to feel safe. Sagittarius, the seeker, the one who cannot accept lies, the one who is always searching for deeper truth. And the 7th house, relationships, other people, the mirror. Put this together, and it tells me your deepest emotional lessons came through other people. You did not learn the easy way. You learned through relationships that confused you, friendships that betrayed you, people who said one thing and did the opposite, environments where your intelligence was dismissed or where you were made to feel like you were too much. And you may have asked yourself, many times, if I am so perceptive, why do I keep ending up in these situations? Why did I not see it coming? Because the storms were not a sign that something was wrong with you, the storms were the training. Every false friend taught you how to read people more accurately. Every painful ending taught you what honesty actually looks like. Every environment that rejected you pushed you closer to where you actually belong. You do not tolerate shallow connections. You ask difficult questions. You dig for the root of things. And not everyone is ready for that. But here is the truth. The people who could not handle your depth were never your people. And you are now reaching the point where you finally understand that. Now I need to explain something that may have confused you for years. The sun, your identity, your confidence, who you are at your core. Libra, the energy of balance, beauty, harmony, but also the energy of always considering everyone else first. And the fifth house, self-expression, creativity, how you shine, how the world sees your light. When the sun sits here in this combination, something specific happens. You may have learned very early in your life to check everyone else's reaction before you allowed yourself to be confident. You may have felt like you had to perform in order to be valued, like your worth depended on being liked, being approved of, being acceptable to other people. There may have been a complicated dynamic with authority, a father, a parent figure, a system, where recognition always felt conditional, like you had to earn the right to exist. And because of this, other people project onto you. They do not see you clearly. Some people look at you and feel drawn to your energy. Others look at you and feel threatened by it. They call you arrogant, secretive, too intense, too confident, difficult to control. Very few people have ever immediately understood who you actually are. You may have experienced people copying your ideas, competing with you while pretending to be your friend, watching you in silence, studying your moves while never admitting they are paying attention, becoming uncomfortable the moment you speak with confidence. This is because your energy works like a mirror. When people encounter you, they are forced to face parts of themselves they have been avoiding, and most of them are not ready for that. So they make it your problem. They try to shrink you, and for a long time, you may have let them, but not anymore. Now look at this. The same house, the same sign, but this time it is Venus pulling through, and Venus is completely at home here. This is your gift. Venus in its own sign, in the house of creativity, means you carry a natural magnetism that you may not even fully understand. People remember you after you leave the room. They remember your voice, the way you said something, the way you looked. Something about your energy stays in their mind, and they cannot always explain why. This is especially powerful through your creative work. Your writing, your visuals, your speaking, your content, your style, your presence, whatever form your expression takes, it leaves an emotional mark. You have a natural ability to understand beauty. Presentation, storytelling, what moves people emotionally, what attracts an audience. This is not something you learned from a course. This was built into you. But here is where the wound and the gift meet, because Venus and the Sun are sitting in the same house. For years, you may have been creating for the wrong audience, adjusting yourself, softening your message, performing a version of you that felt safe for other people instead of expressing what you actually feel. Your real power does not come from getting more followers. It does not come from more views, more likes, more attention. Your real power comes the moment you stop creating for approval and start creating from conviction. Stop changing yourself to be acceptable to people who were never meant for you. This combination right here, this is protection. Mars, the warrior, raw power, survival instinct. Scorpio, the sign where Mars is at its most dangerous, its most strategic, its most unbreakable. And the sixth house, enemies, obstacles, battles, everything that rises up against you. When the warrior planet sits in its most powerful sign in the house of enemies, it means something very specific. You become strongest when you are challenged. This does not mean you do not suffer. You feel the hit. You feel the betrayal. You feel the weight of it. But what happens next is what separates you from most people. You go quiet. You pull back. You start watching. You begin to see the real motive behind the attack. Not just what someone did, but why they did it. And then you rebuild, strategically, silently, and you come back more powerful than you were before. Your enemies do not realize this about you. They think the attack will finish you. They do not understand that opposition is the thing that activates abilities you were not using before. People who come against you often end up defeating themselves. They overplay their hand. They reveal too much. They underestimate how much you see. But I need to give you a warning with this energy. You can survive a crisis so effectively that you forget to rest. You push through pain. You keep functioning while your body and your mind are screaming for recovery. Your real enemy is not the people opposing you. Your real enemy is the stress you refuse to acknowledge. Saturn, time, discipline, karma, the long road. Aquarius, the sign where Saturn is completely in its power. Humanitarian energy, the reformer, the one who sees the bigger picture. And the ninth house, wisdom, higher knowledge, teaching, belief systems, the truth you are here to share. This tells me you carry old soul energy. You may feel older than people your age. You may look at traditions, rules, cultural beliefs, religious ideas, family patterns, and instead of accepting them blindly, you question them. You ask, does this actually work? Or are we just repeating it because nobody had the courage to challenge it? You are not here to copy what you were taught. You are here to test it, refine it, break what is outdated, and eventually teach it in a completely different way. And here is what I want you to understand. Your authority gets stronger with time. You are not designed for overnight fame. You are not designed to peak early and disappear. You are designed to build something so solid that once people see it, they cannot take it away from you. The recognition you deserve is not late. It is being built to last. Now I need to be honest with you, because every powerful energy has a shadow. And your greatest danger is not an enemy. It is not a financial loss. It is not a relationship ending. Your greatest danger is self-doubt. Because of this sun energy, your identity sitting in a sign where it constantly considers other people, you may go through cycles that feel impossible to explain. One day you feel like you are capable of anything. The next day you feel completely invisible. You ask yourself, am I imagining this? Am I really gifted? Why can nobody see what I see? Why do I need recognition so badly? Why do people react so strongly to me? What is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. You alternate between feeling powerful and feeling invisible because the world was not built to support the way you think, feel, and see. And so you have spent years looking for evidence of your value in other people's reactions. That is the trap. And the lesson is simple, but it is the hardest lesson in your entire chart. Stop using other people's responses as proof of who you are. Your value does not depend on who sees it. Now let me tell you why this reading is reaching you right now. Because the timing is not an accident. The energy has shifted. Around June 20th, a new cycle began, and Venus is at the center of it. Not just once. Venus is repeating in your timing. That is why I am pulling this card twice. The period before this may have felt like walking through fog. You may have experienced detachment, creative exhaustion, confusion, separation from people or projects, or the feeling that something you once cared about had completely lost its meaning. That fog is lifting. Something is beginning to pull you forward again. It may be a creative idea, a new relationship, a business opportunity, a change in how you look or present yourself, a desire to feel alive again after an emotionally dry period. This period is bringing increased visibility, creative momentum, better presentation, a more aligned audience, financial movement through your creative work, possibly a romantic connection or the return of someone from your past. But here is the test. Not every person offering you attention is offering you respect. Not every exciting opportunity is stable. Your job during this period is to tell the difference between what genuinely values you and what simply wants to use your energy. Jupiter. expansion, blessings, growth, wisdom. Cancer, the sign where Jupiter reaches its highest power, and the second house, your money, your voice, your value, your self-worth. This is a significant shift. Your voice, what you say, how you say it, the knowledge you carry, is becoming more valuable right now. This can show up as a new income stream, an opportunity to be paid for what you know, a chance to teach, to speak, to publish, to create content that actually generates something tangible. The universe is saying, stop keeping your gift private. Stop treating your talent as something that only lives inside your head. Give it structure. Put it out there. Let other people experience it. But I also need to tell you, July is a month of revision. Communication may feel scattered in the first few weeks. Old messages, old decisions, old conversations may resurface. Something you thought was settled may need to be revisited. Do not panic, and do not make permanent decisions from temporary frustration. Clarity arrives toward the end of July. The fog lifts. The picture becomes sharper. At the same time, there is heavy energy around your career. Something is being restructured. A responsibility, a project, a professional decision may feel slower than you want. But this is not denial. This is the universe checking whether your foundation is strong enough to carry what is coming. And privately, you may be dealing with exhaustion that nobody else sees. Higher expenses, disrupted sleep, intense effort behind the scenes. Do not drain yourself in private while performing strength in public. Rest is not a weakness. It is a strategy. Before I close, I want you to look at what just came through. Look at how many of these planets are sitting in their most powerful position. The mind at full strength, the creativity at full strength, the warrior at full strength, the teacher at full strength. That is not normal. That is not a common chart. That is exactly why I said you carry one of the rarest energies in the world. And your rare energy is not that you never break. It is that every experience that should have destroyed you, every betrayal, every rejection, every storm, became another source of intelligence, creativity, and authority. You are tired of being seen through an outdated version of yourself. You are tired of explaining yourself to people who are not listening. You are becoming more selective about who gets access to your energy, your ideas, and your private world. Good. That is not you shutting down. That is you finally understanding your value. A creative, romantic, or public opportunity is opening, and part of you does not fully trust it yet. You are wondering, is this real, or is this another cycle of temporary attention? It is real, but you have to meet it with discipline, not desperation. Here's what I want you to take with you. Finish what you started before you begin something new. Protect your rest. Protect your private recovery. Let people prove their loyalty through action, not words. Do not chase anyone who only appears when you are getting attention. Build your income around your knowledge, your creativity, your voice, because that is where the abundance is coming from now. And stop measuring your gift only by how intensely you feel it. Give it structure. Use it consistently. Allow it to become something that other people can experience. You have carried this energy in silence long enough. The cards are telling you, it is time to use it.